Hello everyone! Today we're taking a look at one of my favorite mods that I played with recently in Total War Warhammer 3, the Necromancy mod by All Is Dust. And I make it no secret that I love the Undead factions, always have, always will. And it's usually my go-to factions and characters in other games I play, because Undead stuff is always the coolest themes in games. And if you're anything like me, or at the very least a casual Undead enjoyer, you'll enjoy this mod because it is so damn cool. It essentially lets you raise any unit as a skeleton, you just have to find some specimens. And by that I mean a living version of it and, kill it, because it's hard to reanimate bones if someone is still using them in their bodies. And in some cases, you also gotta collect some of their weapons as well, because it's hard to get skeletal dwarfs with great weapons if you only have some bones and no great weapons. So if you want a very specific unit, like boxing Croxigors, you gotta find a variant with the boxing gloves. But that's not the only way of getting them. There is another choice for the pacifist necromancer, because you can go and dig for bones as well. So just go to the native place of your desired bones and start digging. Or get a good humpback assistant to do it for you as a respectable necromancer. But that's pretty much all there is to it, so get out there and collect some bones and make your ultimate necromancer army. And this is usually where I go through all the units in the mod, but there are way too many units, so I figured I'd just have a quick look at some of my favorites to give you an idea of what you can expect. So first we got some orcs and dwarf skeletons, which are pretty much polar opposite infantry. The orcs are kinda squishy, but they do really good damage with anti-infantry, while the dwarves are of course super sturdy, but don't do that much damage. But they both look really cool. The orcs are chunky with big armors, and the dwarves of course come with a beard, which confirms once and for all that their beards are part of their skulls. But if you need something a little bit quicker, there's the skeleton cold ones and saber-toothed skeleton carnivores. And I can't help but think that the cold ones kinda look like giant undead murder geese, because I just think their heads kinda look like a beak. But then again, geese are pretty much mini dinosaurs with anger issues anyways. But with that said, I think both units still look super sweet, and they're both pretty good. They're quick, angry, undead murder machines. And then if you need some good undead shooting, you can go kill some elves and grab some skeletal wood elf archers. They unfortunately aren't quite as good as their living variant, but they still do the work. And with these, at least you get the satisfaction of knowing some elves died in the making of these, which I consider a big upside. And there's also the Hawk Riders, if you need your archers to fly, and I absolutely love the models for these, because at first I was wondering how the skeletal birds flew, but then I saw their ghost feathers and that's just really cool, so I just find them badass. And if you need something chunkier than elves, then you can always go kill some ogres, because they are pretty awesome. Turns out they aren't just fat, they're actually big boned. Or if you prefer your chonkers to be a little bit more reptile-y, you can go and kill some Croxigors, because both variants are pretty great, but the boxing gloves just looks comically big on them, but they do the job. There's also two kinds of dragon, both Cathayan and Western, I guess. So whichever dragon flavor you enjoy, you got your options. Just go to Cathay if you like the worm kind, or find someone with a dragon like Imric or the Sisters for the Western kind, or wherever you get your dragons. But my absolute favorite's gotta be the big dinos, because we got the Carnosaur skeleton that does Carnosaur things, or if you can find one, the Skeleton Dreadsaurian, which does the same thing as the Carnosaur but bigger. But that's just some of my favorites in the mod. If you want some other units, it's likely there, unless it's from another Undead factions. But besides that, there's probably something for you in there to tickle your fancy. You just gotta find the right bones. And that's gonna be it for now, so thank you so much for watching. I'll leave a link to the mod in the description, and do the YouTubey things for more. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!